I did not expect this. Things are happening quickly for Dianna Russini. This is absolutely kind of wild. Did not expect this, folks, because, well, we'll get to the media in a moment. But as you can see here, Dianna Russini sidelined by New York Times after internal investigation into bombshell Mike Vrabel photos raised additional concerns. Yep, raised additional concerns. The New York Times has sidelined top NFL reporter Dianna Russini after Page Six published photographs that appeared to show her holding hands with New England Patriots head coach Mike Vrabel. We're told the publication is investigating the situation and reviewing her coverage, and that Russini won't be reporting for the outlet while the probe is underway. By the way, headline on Twitter I saw with this that was used in a couple of different places actually said, I believe it was the Athletic. The Athletic is probing Dianna Russini's story, etc., etc. Like, wow, really? With this story, that's where you're going? But okay, that is what they did. Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for being here. Appreciate all your support. Hope you're having a fantastic day and all that, man. Do me a favor, like, comment, subscribe. I really do appreciate it. There's actually been a ton to this story. I've been holding back a little because there's been so much. I didn't want to all of a sudden make this channel a Dianna Russini channel, yet I know it is a huge story when it comes to the NFL and maybe even a bigger story when it comes to the Philadelphia Eagles. Yeah, so absolutely wild. So let's dig into this a little bit, see what they've got to say on here. Yeah, there's the interlocking hand holding and the kind of intimate looking hug. I'm just saying. After Page Six reached out to Diana for comment on Tuesday, the Athletic immediately began an investigation. A source familiar with the situation told us, well, we know all about the sources familiar with the situation, don't we? While the apparent conduct in the photos raised questions for Athletic executive editor Steven Ginsburg and leadership at The Athletic, an initial review suggested the images provided lacked context, specifically the presence of a large group of friends. Now, look, that is one of the big things, right? None of the friends are around. Now, for me, that doesn't mean she didn't have friends there. That could have been a bit of the cover. That could have been, oh, this is an opportunity because look where Mike is going and he's going to be close. And I believe, though, he wasn't that close. I think he was about 2 hours away or something like that. I don't know that you go 2 hours out of your way in that situation to hang out with a friend. They said that new details from the Page Six report and information from the investigation raised additional concerns that are now being reviewed further. The investigation is ongoing. The insider added, her coverage is being reviewed. That process is expected to take time. She will not be reporting in the interim. And for me, this was a smart decision by the Athletic. Don't wait on it. Don't wait on it. I think that makes it worse. Now, the one thing I really wanted to talk about, though, that's really kind of, or a couple of things, I should say, actually, that are kind of irking me a little bit with this is you have now, of course, you have a lot of people out there now trying to make it a man woman issue, saying why isn't everyone focused on Mike? Why isn't Mike having issues? Why aren't people going after Mike? What about Mike? I get it. If you've been watching videos here, you know I've talked about Mike too, and I said at the least he should be suspended as well. But understand this, folks. It's not the big story here. As terrible as it is, how they're behaving in their personal lives and both being married and both having kids and doing this, both spouses should be filing for divorce. You know, get their ducks in a row they say first. Get prepared, be ready, and then go. But that is a personal thing. Now, interestingly enough, a lot of these media outlets who are using that excuse sure have no problem doing deep dives and doing articles and getting into all that when it comes to all of these other athletes in these sports. So, of course, we know that is just being hypocritical and that is an excuse because what they don't want to cover is the fact that this probably goes a hell of a lot deeper in these sports with these types of relationships, and the media wants this story to go away because it is so much bigger, because it is about a lot of them as well. And for those making it male female, the reason there's more focus on Dianna Russini is not because she is a woman, it is because she is the reporter. And there are a whole lot of implications here in terms of ethics and corruption and tampering when you have reporters sleeping with sources, sleeping with the people they cover, and then we get all of what the Eagles saw all season long with Dianna Rossini's constant drumbeat, with all of the BS surrounding A.J. Brown and what she put the Philadelphia Eagles through. Both the in the media, because we know all the rest of the media picked it up and they hit that drum beat. You had our own dumbass WIP pounding that drum, and then giving Dianna Russini not that long ago an award for the 2026 Inside Her of the year. That is right. Dirty Diana, concubine of the NFL, got the Inside Her, I'm sorry, Insider Award from WIP. I've got another video coming on that because they decided to open their mouths and speak about Dianna Russini again. Okay. I didn't know if I had my mic plugged in. Anyway, yeah, so that is the big story. For those of you getting all up in arms, first of all, people are talking about Mike. I've said it. Mike should be punished as well. There's no doubt, okay? Mike's being a scumbag. Mike's a scumbag. Mike's married with kids and he's doing this. He's a scumbag. The NFL, considering she's a reporter, the NFL insider at The Athletic with the New York Times. Yes, he should be punished. The NFL, at the very least, should suspend him as well. That's how you get ahead of this. I'm going to say, I didn't expect this. I'm going to say kudos to the Athletic. Now, if they come back real quick and be like, oh, everything's fine, we got another issue. But right now, I am going to say, yeah, I approve of their conduct. The NFL needs to step up and do the same with Mike. Otherwise, you will get a little bit of that, hey, well, wait a minute, what about the coach? That being said, for those of you who are bringing this up, it's because she's a woman and he's a man. No, it's because she is the reporter covering the NFL using sources to create stories and shape narratives that impact different teams and players in a way that she wants. We go back again, with the story that came out with Max Crosby and her saying Max Crosby wanted to play for Mike Vrabel, and Max Crosby's team saying, Max didn't say that. We don't talk to Diana. We didn't tell Diana that because Diana, and I saw another thing that apparently Dianna Russini and Mike Vrabel were an open secret in Tennessee. Interesting how that works, isn't it? Interesting how that works. So here we go. This story's not going away, and it shouldn't. NFL needs to get its ducks in a row. Media need to stop being cowards, step up and cover this story, and stop doing it in a way that deflects, because any media that has talked about it has gone at the angle, oh, well, that's a personal issue. What two adults do, blah, blah, blah. Or they're going even further and saying, oh, there's nothing wrong with that. They're just friends. You can't read into that. Friends don't do that. And again, even if they're not sleeping with each other, that is not a good sign when you are married. But anyway, let me know what y'all think. Smash the like button, subscribe to the channel. Truly appreciate it. Let me know in the comments. Come on, let me see them. I know y'all can get creative and funny. I will talk to you later.